Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you what happened when I gave my kids some DIY quarantine haircuts. I went to good old YouTube, watched some videos, and then we worked it out. Let's get into it. Well guys, this started the way all good things start, on YouTube. It's been a month and my kid's hair is looking, well, crazy. So I turned to my favorite hair god on YouTube, Bradmondo. So Bradmondo, this one's for you. I'm showing you my daughter's hair. She's trusting me, which is probably not a great idea, but all the same, I pay the bills. So sit down, little lady. You're getting a haircut. Everything that I'm going to use in this video is going to be linked down below. I got everything off of Amazon, guys, and none of it was super pricey, but anyways, the links are down in the description box below. Wait, did she just say we're brushing out her hair? And she has a really, really naturally straight hair and a super sassy attitude. Sorry, unrelated. So Brad said to, look at me calling him Brad, like we're besties. We go way back, like two recliners. No, we don't. He said to basically find the kind of rounded part of the head and then split the stuff down the sides. And guys, this is going to be super fast because the videos that inspired this video are going to be linked down below. So I would follow their tutorial, not mine. I'm just showing you that, I'm just showing you what happened. So you're going to split it into 4 parts. And as you can see, I'm just not cool enough to have 4 hair ties. So there we go. We're bringing in the banana clips, or I don't know what those things are called, whatever. Oh, and then these little hair ties, which I have used in so many of my other DIY mask videos, which I will link right here for you guys. But so basically, you split the hair into 4 parts and then you just pull the hair straight down. So don't, kind of bend it forward or pull it back. Just pull it straight down so that the way that it would normally fall on their arms. And then I'm asking her, how much do you want your hair cut? And she said, like we all do, this tiny little bit. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. It's my turn to be the scissor happy little freak. You're getting 3 inches cut off. No, just kidding. I'm not going to do that to her. But I feel like that's what happens every time I say, give me a trim. My hairstylist here's cut off 6 inches of my hair. Ooh, that was aggressive. Had to move her forward. All right. So then you're going to go through all 4 sections and you're just going to do basically that. You're just going to, you're putting the hair tie where you are wanting to cut the hair. So you want to make sure that they are even or as even as possible. And again, laying flat on the head. And again, if you're looking for actual instructions, I would watch the videos that inspired this video. That's just my little disclaimer for you. So then they said to point cut straight down, but I had trouble doing that because I first had to get rid of the hair. So I just cut it straight across and then I kind of point cut into the actual thing. And my daughter the whole time was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of hair. Like, what does a lot of hair sound like? I mean, I've said that every time I've ever had a haircut, and now I see how absolutely ridiculous that sounds. So thanks, Ava. So I'm just point cutting into that little tiny end piece right there, and then you're gonna see me do this 4 times. And I'm just kind of making sure that they're all just roughly the same length. And I don't have the highest of expectations for this haircut because, well, nothing to do with Bradmondo, more to do with user error or my lack of skill set. But desperate times call for quarantine haircuts, so this is what we're doing here. All right, and then so now that they're all done, we're just gonna pull those out and see what kind of magic we're working with. And as I'm pulling them out, I'm going, wait, yeah, this is okay. This could work. It's a little bit uneven on the left side, but I'm gonna fix that later on. And now this is she and I. We are watching Brad like, wait, what do we do now? Because I was confused. But thanks to the power of Brad, yeah, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan. So shout out to you. So basically the next thing that you do is you're going to go back and you're going to separate everything into 4 sections again. And then you're going to take each one of those 4 sections one at a time and brush them straight up. And then basically leave like 1.5 inches of hair at the top. And this is where you're going to make your layers. So you would only do this if you want light layers. If you just want more of a, blunt cut, you would stop right where you just saw me. But she wants little layers. So, we're going to give her layers. Why not? I mean, this haircut is free, right? So then, but with this one, you hold it straight up and down and then you put the hair tie up there. So when it falls, it should fall like that. And you're not going to cut it where the hair tie is. You're going to cut it well below that, but you're trying to get the position of the hair. So you want to make sure that the hair is pulled all the way straight up and down when you are putting the hair tie in, because that way when it falls, it will fall higher, if that makes sense. So that way you will get that sort of natural layer in there. I hope that makes sense. Again, watch Brad's video because he's just, well, because he's a hairstylist and I'm not. Okay, so just watch his video. All right, and then you're just going to do that on all 4 sections as you see me doing here. She thinks this is like the never-ending haircut, but this really ended up only taking 10 minutes. But because it was for Brad, she was like, okay, I'm here for it, because she is also a giant fan. So here we go. We're putting in the 4th hair tie. And then now all you basically have to do is just decide, I'm just checking them to make sure that they're all roughly in the same place. And then we're going to decide how much of that we want to cut off. So we don't want to cut straight across. We're just kind of point cutting into the very tips so that you're getting a little bit of a lighter layer at that top. And then what you see me doing is just taking each of those 4 sections, and I'm kind of just using the last one that I did as a guide for the next one, because let's be honest, guys, I really don't know what I'm doing here, okay? But just keep going, and you just have to have faith in the scissors and the process, and we'll see what happens here. So that's what I'm doing. And her hair, I swear to God, I always feel like I'm like cutting a Barbie's hair. Look at her hair. It's like strands of gold. It's so beautiful. All right, and then don't worry about those front pieces, because we do those at the very, very end. And then I was getting ready to take her hair ties out, but those little elastics, they hold really well, but they are so hard to get out. And then I realized my scissors weren't that sharp. So what do? Grab some aluminum foil and cut into it, because it sharpens your scissors up super, super fast. My daughter's like, what kind of Jedi ninja mind trick are you doing? She was confused. So learning has occurred. Anyway, so I use this thing that is actually made for cutting, what do you call that stuff? Wrapping paper. But you just pick it up and you like kind of slide it under one of the loops, and it will break that elastic. Guys, this is a lifesaver when you were trying to get hair ties out of a kid's hair or your hair or anywhere. So I just thought, while I'm doing this video, let me share this with you. And then so you pull all 4 of those out, and you can just tell almost instantly. I mean, y'all probably can't tell, but you will be able to tell here in a minute. That you have a really nice, it just kind of lightens up the bottom layer. I don't really know how to say it any better than that. So now we're going to deal with these front face framing pieces. And she's like, what are you doing? And so I explained, I am doing hair according to YouTube. So that's perfectly safe. Not. So then you just kind of pull them down to wherever you want and then point cut. And she keeps looking down, which of course is making it difficult. There we go. So then now you can go back through, and Brad said to kind of like point cut up in a stepward fashion. So stepward in kind of steps, so that you'd be stepping down from that highest piece, kind of to where you're going to meet one of those longer pieces in the back. And I'm sure that if there is a hairstylist watching this, you are cringing right now. But, since sadly you can't come in my house and do this, we got to do what we got to do. And we're going to see here in a second how it turns out. All right, so I think we're all done, and I'm just sort of bringing up the very tips of the front piece and then taking it off, and we're going to stand her up and see what we've done. Is my daughter going to try to sell me on eBay after this haircut? I don't know yet. So when she turns around, let's see, hold on one second. So I'm just like checking, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. Like, let's have a look. But then she stands up and I'm like, oh no, we are long on the left, but don't worry about that. We can fix that. So then I'm just going to go in here and kind of point cut upwards, like on the left side, just until we get to the right side. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm just kind of leveling it out. And this was very, very easy because it's not a blunt cut. So it was very easy to make it blend in, and I was extremely happy with the way that this turned out. I have to tell you, I'm not sure if we will be going back to the salon after this. I mean, maybe once a year, twice a year for, whatever. But anyway, so she's gonna go style this bunny. Get out of here. I didn't really push her, guys. That was a camera effect. And then she styled it, and it is beautiful. She is so happy with it. I think we took like 2 inches off. But as you can see, you just have this nice, like those little pieces that just kind of angle in from top to bottom. And then look at the way the bottom of her hair, I mean, that just looks so beautiful. Like, I mean, I want to be proud of myself, which I am, but again, and this is not a collab video between me and bradmondo. I'm just, Brad, thank you for the awesome advice, because look at this haircut. If I can do this to someone's hair, I'm feeling relatively confident that anyone can. Hair styling is not a skill set for me, so maybe it is. Who knows? All right, so now she's very happy with it. She loves it, and now we are going to cut little man's hair. Okay, someone cue the fashion music, because apparently it's a photo shoot. So she starts whipping her hair around, spinning around, but she's just checking out how her hair looks, and she's just really, really happy with it. So, and then yeah, I don't know what happened there. She lost it for a minute, but she's just checking out, like, I'm kind of showing you how it looks when it moves around. Okay, bye. All right, where's little guy? All right, hey little guy, what is he? Why are you so excited to get your haircut? What do you think is happening here? All right, and so the second one for a boy's haircut was actually not Brad Mondo, and again, it's linked down below. And I can't remember her name right off, but it's like Legit Mom Life or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, all right, so what do we do first? We put a cape on because children hate itchy hair. Well, everybody hates it. What are you, tired? Wake up, we're cutting hair here. All right, now we're gonna take out the clippers and we are going to attempt to cut his hair, so they said to just kind of like scoop and then do it in sort of a C type motion. So where you see me coming towards the top, I'm kind of rocking it away from his head. And that is, I suppose, in an attempt to give us some kind of like fade. And, you know, I stopped for a second to take a picture to send as a joke to one of my friends that like, oh my goodness, look what I did to his hair. In case it actually turned out well, I wanted to have something that looked terrible. But anyway, so that's what you see me doing here. And I'm using the biggest guard possible. And as you can see, I'm just kind of flicking it as I get towards the top of the, I don't know, somebody in one video called it like an occipital bone, being all fancy. But that's what you see me doing. And I decided, you know what, let me bend his ear out of the way because this kid came into this haircut with 2 ears and he should leave with 2 ears. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of like showing you guys this over and over and over again because this was probably this was probably the most difficult part for me, mostly because I had no confidence in doing it. Next time, of course, I'll feel much better about how this is going to go. But so as I get to the other side of his head, I'm thinking, you know, this isn't that bad. I mean, he's covered in hair. He looks like a chia pet, but trying to keep it off of him. I need to get one of those little whatever you call duster brushes. So then I switched to the smallest guard because he likes his hair like really tight to his head, and then he likes the top a little bit longer. So this is where things got a little bit hairy, pun intended, but where he wants it really tight to his head. And since I don't have high level of like faith in my skills in hair cutting, I was afraid to do that. But we just rolled the dice, and I figured if it was terrible, we just buzz it off Paris Island style. All right, so we just keep going, and we just hope for the best. And there were certain moments where I ran it up the side of the back of his head, and I was like, oh no, what did you do? But as I kept going, it was like unwrapping a present. It wasn't that bad. So he likes his to come all the way up, and then he likes that little, I don't know what you call it. If you're a hairdresser, leave it down below. Whatever that little line is where you kind of like cut it into the side of their head so it looks like it's a part line, but it's really fake. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, that's what you see me doing here. I'm just kind of trying to get as close to that as possible. Why? Because I'm terrified right now. Legitimately, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but my hands are shaking because I'm so afraid that either I'm going to move my hand the wrong way or he's going to move his head and we are going to have a situation. But as you can see, I mean, this looks like it, I don't know, it looks like it might come together. We'll see. So I just continue shaving and hoping for the very, very best. All right, and as this goes on, and guys, I know this is a long video for me, but I mean, it's cutting 2 people's hair, so sorry, it has to be what it has to be. So then I take it and I take the guard completely off, and I'm just kind of getting off that, I don't know what you call, fuzz. So they say to do it straight across and then an angle from the back of the ear to where it met with the very back. And then I went around the side of his ear, and he was afraid. So I was showing him like, look, it's not really that sharp. You can calm down. I'm not going to take your ear off yet, maybe. We'll see. I mean, this kid must trust me, which I don't know if that's a good idea. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. So I'm just kind of cutting those lines in and getting all that excess little, you know, I don't know what you call it, hair off. And then I'm cutting right there at the side of his temple. And now he thinks it's funny because he realizes he's going to survive. This kid's going to make it out with 2 ears. All right, now here's the scary part. Well, maybe not for you if you're a hairdresser, but he looks impressed. That gives me a little confidence. So I say, let's keep going. All right, so I'm spraying that so that I can brush his hair over to the side because he wants that, again, he wants that little like, I don't know what to call it, but that little line cut into the side. He is super excited. I don't know why. But then I realized that I have these little face shields that are actually going in a mask video for next week. So if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe. But this basically, I mean, it's meant for hair cutting and waxing and all this other stuff, but it helps to keep the hair out of the eyes. So I think, oh wait, let me do this so that, because he is so weird about anything being in his eyes. So now he's like really having fun with this thing and he thinks he's like Darth Vader. And oh, bless you, buddy. Woo! Keep your coronavirus to yourselves. Like, just kidding. All right, that's not even funny, guys. Okay, so this is where I have to just like slow my roll, take a breath, and I'm nervous because, you know, we're filming as this is happening, and I'm thinking, well, this is either going to be really bad or it's going to turn out. But as you can see, I don't manage to shave like large portions of his head off, so I think we're good. And now we just need to take this part and cut it. And again, I would not follow my directions, guys. I'm just showing you that, like, look, a real person can do it. I would follow the directions in the video links that are listed below that inspired this video. All right, so I'm just cutting his hair because he wants to grow the top out a little bit. I don't know if he's like channeling his inner Zac Efron or whatever, you millennials, whoever your big person is. I don't know, because I'm not a millennial, not cool like that. Tell me who it is down below. Who has good hair nowadays? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm brushing and wetting and brushing and wetting. And I wasn't aware that hair should be like really wet for a guy because, oh, this just in. I'm not a guy. So apparently you take that piece that you cut at the front. So when you have that length and you're using that as a guide. And then what you're going to do is kind of go in from the side now and then just cut all the way straight back. So this seems manageable. I'm thinking, oh, I can do this. And of course, I'm kind of like running the other person's video in the background and just feeling like, okay, this is just a haircut. Like, you've built a company and raised 2 children. Like, you can cut hair. Come on. And I think the good thing about this is that it's kind of empowering. And the bad thing is that I don't know that we'll be going out for public haircuts anymore. Okay, I say that now. Let's just see. Because I'm feeling pretty good about it at this moment. So then you split it down the middle because, you know, everybody wants to look like alfalfa. Hello. And then you're going to use that middle piece as the guide to help you cut in the sides. And so then you're just going to go straight back down the side. Right side, then the left side. And yes, I am going to keep this running and not cut this because I know if I cut it, somebody's going to be like, wait, why didn't you show the other side? So I know this video is super long. For my general format is like 5 to 8 minutes, and this one's like 20, but it's haircuts, and I thought you guys might need to cut some hair. So we're just going to keep going, and then we're cutting down the right side, and I'm starting to feel like, okay, like how, I mean, we can do this for real. Like, we're almost there. So now really the only thing that's left is to kind of fade it in from the side, and so, you know, so that you don't have that harsh like mop of hair at the top and then that very, very tight to the side of his head. So I'm trying to do it by hand because, quite frankly, the idea of doing it with trimmers or clippers or whatever they're called is just too terrifying for me. But then I'm like, no, you got this. Come on, Raphaela, let's do this. So then I pick up the comb and I start doing it the way that the lady's doing it, like at warp speed in the video. And I'm like, wow, this is so much easier. So then, as you can see, I get a little crazy here. And because he has a really bad, whatever you call it, cowlick at the back of his head. His head. I don't even know, why is it called a cowlick? I need to look that up. If you know, put it in the comments down below because it has always sort of, well, it's mesmerized me. All right, so now I'm just going to go back in, and right there where it was super, super tight to his head, and we cut that little line in, now I have to bring all of this, like, it looks like a little cabbage patch on the back of his head. And so I start to become a little concerned that, like, oh, I don't know, how am I going to kind of bring this all into line? But guys, just keep going because honest to God, I mean, I feel like it worked out. Y'all tell me. But so he's like, are we almost done yet? I'm like, almost, buddy. I promise. Not really. And so now I'm just kind of going through, and any pieces that I feel like need to be trimmed up, that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to keep going around the back of his head and the side of his head until I feel like, you know, he doesn't look like he just fell off the back of a Supercuts bus where somebody was cutting his hair while drinking. And I mean, guys, is this haircut perfect? No, certainly not. But, hello, it's manageable. He's happy with it. I'm happy with it. Well, that's going to be a wrap for this video. Don't forget that all the links are listed in the description box below and the first pinned comment for you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with my family and I. And if you want to be notified when I upload new videos, just click subscribe and turn on that little bell notification. And if you want to see these 2 little crazy people on their own channel, their channel is linked below. It's Her Kids. Don't forget to smile, take a deep breath. We are going to get through this together. From our family to yours, be safe, be well, and be good to each other. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.